Hey everybody, it's Unbreakable Spirits. It's Greg again, and it is Friday, September the 22nd. Now, officially, it's supposedly the last day of summer, okay? Like I said, they've changed it since I was a kid. Uh, I always thought last day of summer, first day of fall was September 21st. At least that's what I was a kid, it was. Now they're telling me that the first day of fall is tomorrow, the 23rd. Since when? Anyway, um, today I wanted to just mention something. I've seen something online, both on Instagram and YouTube. Um, there's this couple I came across. I wanted to tell you a little bit about them. Um, Young couple, about 30 years old. Uh, he's in a wheelchair, has some sort of a uh, spinal condition. Really can't do much for himself. Uh, Little guy. Uh, his limbs are very thin. He's really needs a lot of help. Got married to a girl who is beautiful, and she's able-bodied. That's what they call it. When I first started reading this story, I they call it, this first time I ever heard this term. Uh, they are known as a interable couple, whereas one person in the relationship is disabled and one person is not. Um, and they have all kinds of cool videos on Instagram and YouTube, and I know they have sponsors and stuff like that, so they're making money, which is cool. But I mean, the main reason why they do their videos is because they want to show the world that this sort of a relationship, you've got one person with a disability and another person not, is okay. It's normal, you know. Um, back in the day, the old days, you would never do that. Um, but and I want to talk about that a little bit, how I can relate to that. But first, their story. Um, way about what, 8 years ago, 5 years ago, somebody did a documentary about this guy. His name is Shane, and the his life, how positive he is, how funny he is, and did a cool documentary. Well, this girl named Hannah happened to see the documentary, and she reached out to him, sent him an email. They corresponded, start talking to each other on the phone, did Zoom visits. Pretty soon, she flew to Bethlehem, PA, where he used to live, and met him. And make a long story short, they started dating long distance, and he eventually moved to Minnesota to live with her, small apartment, and they got married about 3 years ago. So good for them. Um, it's very the videos that they make are very interesting, very funny videos. They don't take themselves too seriously. It's interesting how other people who I would say 99% of the people who watch these videos uh, uh, are really cold carrying people who wish them a lot of luck. They have over 750 followers, which is incredible. Um, but he got some nasty comments there too. That they comment, why is she with him? Uh, those sort of things. She's only after his money. She's waiting for him to die. Blah 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 blah. All kinds of nasty shit. You know. So, but like they point out, um, she loves the guy. First of all, it's her life. Do what she wants to do. She loves the guy. I mean, I like their mission, their videos of showing the world that this is okay. It's normal. Uh, you know, It's her life, it's his life too. Um, and it's because a person has a disability doesn't mean they should be alone all their life or they don't have uh, love to share with somebody else, you know? Um, so it's just a very interesting thing because you don't see, I think there are more relationships out there than what we see, but you've never seen this depicted on in movies or TV or anything. Uh, but hopefully you'll see more of it. Now, here's how I could relate. You know, when I was uh, going to college back in the 80s, I started being interested in girls because I was getting out of the house more. I wasn't fracturing as much as I did when I was younger. And I was starting to meet more people. You know, going to college, working part time, you meet people. And I, a lot of girls, I would say a lot, but there were some girls who liked me, you know, they thought I was cute, blah, blah, blah. I used to always worry about not being able to drive. You know, I would say, well, what girl is going to want to uh, fold up my wheelchair, throw it in her trunk or the back of her car, and go? I, my friend who I used to carpool to school with named Lori, and I read about her in my book, which is here, by the way, Unbreakable Spirit. It's my love story. Um, find it on Amazon. Um, no, she used to always tell me, but Greg, if someone likes you enough, it's not going to be considered a burden. You know, you're not a burden. You got to get out of that mentality that you're a burden. You know, you're not. If someone wants to be with you, they will be. If they don't want to be, they won't be. You know, that's the bottom line. You can't look at, I think we have a tendency also to look at the, a lot of comments I've read about Hannah and Shane are against her. Well, first of all, they say to him, how can you burden someone with this responsibility of taking care of you for the rest of your life, blah, blah, blah. And to her, it's like, something must be wrong with you. Can't find a quote unquote normal person to go out with, blah, blah, blah. They forget, even though she finds him cute, they forget that the real things in a relationship are heart and soul, being friends, having things in common, having fun together, being nice to each other, getting along, right? Um, how many people are attracted physically, yet they don't get along? They're fighting all the time. Um, nobody is perfect. Nobody's 100% perfect. So I don't think we should judge other people. You know? It's their life. And I can relate because so when I was going to college, going to school, meeting girls, I would go out with them. Especially this one girl was my very first girlfriend who lived close by, and we started seeing each other, and that was a lot of fun. But and I started a whole new world was open to me, such as going to the movies, going out to dinner with a girl, uh, things I never did before. And here I was, like 28 years old, you know. Um, but it kind of all ended when I met her parents. I think her parents knew about me, but until I actually met them, and they unfortunately had steps going into their house. This was back in the 80s, so not every place was accessible. And her father had to help me in. That was sort of that was the straw that broke the camel's back because I could see on their faces they didn't care for the situation. You can imagine how it is now, 40 years later, it raises eyebrows. Now, imagine back in the 80s, you have someone who's very, very pretty, like she was, going out with someone like me who has a disability, right? So um, it didn't last very long because she was younger and she was uh, still living at home, and she, of course, loved her parents a great deal. So she listened to them, and they advised her, what are you doing? Break it off. And she did. So it really takes someone very strong to like people in that kind of relationship. Shane has to be strong too, because he's going to get a lot of criticism, but so is Hannah. It takes strong people to be being in a relationship is tough anyway, as we all know. But having that sort of stress and strain on a relationship, it's tough. It's tough to overcome. Luckily, they seem to have a great handle on it, and here's to them. Good luck. Hopefully, they are together forever. So next time, I would keep this short. Next time, we're going to talk about Holly, who is the person I found later in life, who just changed my world. And so if you're looking for that special someone out there, don't give up hope, right? Shane found his Hannah, Greg found his Holly, and you can find your special person too. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of crap until you find that special person. But just don't give up, because if you give up, you always have to have hope, that you're not going to be alone forever. So anyway, we'll talk more about this next time. I want to tell you a little bit about Holly, and I want to tell you some more about what happened in my background. But it's an interesting thing. So maybe you could look up this couple, Shane and Hannah, and not promoting them or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I just found it interesting when I came across the story, and because they are making headlines about what a unique kind of story it is. And of course, you're getting a lot of different opinions on it. And I wanted to mention it because I can relate to their stories. So Shane and Hannah, if you're out there, good luck, and stay strong. So you guys have a great weekend. Now, I will be back tomorrow, because there are some things I want to talk about tomorrow. Then Sunday, I'm off. It's supposed to be a rainy, miserable weekend here in Pennsylvania. Good weekend to stay in and watch football or play board games. Just chill, So I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to watch the Phillies tonight. Go Phils. Get ready for the Eagles on Monday. You guys have a great Friday, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care for now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.